Sent parents. When did you realize you needed to be more present? The day I came home from a 2-week work trip, I fully realized just how much of a screw-up I was. I walked in expecting my 17-year-old daughter to be at school, but instead, found her curled up in bed, staring at the wall. The room was dark, and she barely reacted when I opened the door. My first thought was, she was just skipping school, being a typical teenager. But then I really saw her, thin and pale, the sparkle gone from eyes that used to light up when we laughed together. I tried gently asking her what was wrong. She brushed me off, said she was tired, but I couldn't shake the feeling something deeper was happening. That night, the school counselor called and confirmed my fears. My daughter had missed so many classes they were thinking of involving child services. My heart sank. Later, when she finally drifted off to sleep, I did something I wasn't proud of. I checked her phone. My stomach twisted when I read through hundreds of vile messages. They were cruel, relentless texts from classmates, especially from Ron, her former best friend. What scared me even more were her internet searches about Sewers Lied. At that moment, everything hit me like a punch to the gut. I had missed so much, caught up in work, and avoiding real parenting. I was failing her. I panicked at first, but knew I had to act quickly. The next morning, I called my boss and took a week off, making up some excuse about needing family time. I wasn't sure exactly how to fix things, but I knew I had to try something drastic. I decided to give her 7 perfect days to remind her why life was worth fighting for. Day 1, we drove to the beach. I pretended it was spontaneous, but I knew exactly why we were there. When she was little, she collected shells, proudly handing them to me like they were precious treasures. I quietly handed her a small, worn box filled with every shell she had ever given me. Her eyes softened for the first time in ages. It was small, but it was a start. The second day, we went to the animal shelter where we used to volunteer before work consumed my life. She hesitated at first, eyes scanning for an exit, but then she spotted a tiny puppy no one wanted. Watching her gently cradle the puppy, I saw a flicker of the girl I used to know. We brought the dog home to foster, and I noticed her carefully cuddling it all evening. Each day afterward, I planned something meaningful. We cooked her favorite meals, went to a concert, visited an art show. I could feel her slowly opening up, like a flower turning towards the sun after too long in the dark. But I also felt the pressure building. My friend Vanessa told me plainly I was just buying time, that professional help was necessary, but I stubbornly believed I could handle it myself. On day 5, she finally broke her silence. She looked me straight in the eyes and asked why I was doing all this. My throat tightened, but I forced myself to admit everything. The messages, her search history, my fear of losing her. She didn't yell or shut down. Instead, she crumbled into tears, relief washing over her face. She told me about how a private message confessing her feelings to Ron got twisted, becoming a public joke at her expense. My heart shattered. Day 6 was rough. I found out the bullying hadn't stopped. Ron sent new threats daily, warning her to stay away from school. Furious and scared, I confronted Ron's parents and the school administrators. They brushed it off as kids being kids. My daughter felt betrayed and humiliated that I'd acted without her consent. She locked herself away, refusing to speak or even look at me. That night, desperate, I sat outside her bedroom door, talking quietly about my own struggles growing up, feeling isolated, misunderstood, and the regret that gnawed at me over missing so much of her childhood. I admitted I didn't have answers, but promised we'd find them together. After what felt like hours, she finally opened the door, eyes red from crying, and showed me the messages she'd hidden from me. I didn't want you to see how weak I was, she whispered. Surviving all this isn't weak, I said, holding back tears. It's the strongest thing I've ever seen. The final day wasn't about trips or distractions. Instead, we sat at our kitchen table, researching therapists, documenting bullying evidence, and calling a lawyer friend. 2 months later, my daughter was regularly attending therapy and had started at a new arts-focused school, making genuine friends. That puppy we fostered officially became hers, providing comfort and companionship. And me? I adjusted my schedule, took a pay cut, and now I never miss dinner with her.